Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, me and my partner will present about critical review analysis. So, I will introduce myself and my partner. My name is Sarah Hamini binti Azizan and my partner is Nur Syafiqah binti Ahmad Ramli. We have choose 4 articles for this critical review analysis. The creation, receipt, maintenance, use and disposal of records are all included into activities of records management. In this content that record a business transaction is referred to as a record. Documentation can be found in contracts, memoranda, paper file, electronic file, reports, email, video, instant messages, logs, and database entries. Physical box can be used to store paper record either locally or at a storage facility. Electronic documents can be held regionally as well as in the cloud. Next, the main finding in the Article 1 is the study confirmed that records management strategies have a positive significant relation to professional performance. The finding can help improve the university policies, procedure and strategies in managing record. Next, for Article 2, the main finding is the aim of the research is to look into records management procedure as one of the Malaysia public institution achieve. The main finding for Article 3 is public institutions require information system that allow them to generate within their business processes, manage record in a methodological manner and conduct such activities on electronic media. Lastly, the main finding for Article 4 is in order to reduce any risk of corruption associated with the management of the information produced by a public administration, displaying information, a lack of evidence, or document. This paper aims to demonstrate how regulation can make it easier to incorporate transparency application into a record life cycle. Record Management Strategies and Professional Performance of Administrative Staff by Jimul F. Gasmundo, Reverend Ryan B. Glorioso, Karen Joy Raviv, and Elaine Joyce Apart is the first of the chosen articles. The year of publishing is 2022. Record Management Practices in Public Institutions achieved by Nurul Hanis binti Kamaluddin is the second article that have been chosen. Next, a selection of the article by Hakan Demit and Ozlem Gokut Berem entitled Efficiency of Electronic Records Management System, Turkey an Example of Ministry of Development is presented. Improving Record Management to Promote Transparency and Prevent Corruption by Ana Casades Domingo and Agus Kirillo I. Magnus is the last article selected.
Next, I will continue for my parts. The similarities. There are several similarities that can be identified throughout conducting this study. Here are more description of the similarities between the 4 articles. The importance of records management in achieving a variety of goals that is reliably organized and perceived, and that non-essential records are disposed of as often as prescribed by established criteria, is to use record management. In every article, there are more to attain the benefits. The article recognizes that records are essential for presenting evidence in a variety of situations, including assessing, managing, and lowering any risk. They emphasize the importance of record as proof. The next, the journey of records management is identical. Everyone involved in creating and maintaining record must understand what records are, what is critical to manage them effectively, and how each individual can contribute to the goal of managing records to support effectiveness, efficiency, accountability, and transparency if our organization is to achieve the desired destination of effective records care. Next, I will continue with the differences. First, types of records keeping system. The archive departments of public institutions has its own resources such as staff records, student records, administration records, and vital records, which were valuable for historical reference, research, and development. In this respect, the Ministry of Development initialized the works to conduct the official correspondences among the public institutions and organizations to be done on e-media, which is a different way used in the record management system. The test fitting for the correspondence purpose were done by the 6 major public organizations aiming at the application of the created correspondence package system. The institution participated in the pilot scheme of the Ministry of Development actively put into practice the correspondence process, and all communications among the organization were ready to be conducted on electronic media. The first part of the study shall include a comparative analysis aiming at the measuring the productivity of the Ministry of Development ERM application. Secondly, different method uses. The data guided articles in variety of ways. The method adapted for articles 1 and 2 is to distribute questionnaires and collect observations for various categories of respondents. Data that describe the administrative staff professional performance and record management tactics were gathered using a quantitative descriptive study strategy. The study at Laguna State Polytechnic University San Pablo City campus concentrated on the convenience sampling approach for gathering and delivering survey questionnaires to participants. In Article 3, Electronic Records Management System (ERMS) transmitted e-correspondence packages to the institutional email service provider via web service. ERMS records keeper query any pending packages that were delivered and displayed. In Article 4, the method that has been used is to analyze the tools that Spain public administration have at their disposal to handle these inconsistencies in keeping record in regard to the wide variety of rules and guidelines that the country has passed. The last one is describe objective in research. The objective is cover on records management strategies and professional performance of administrative staff is to examine the perceived impact on records management strategy on administrative staff to professional performance. The study also explored the difference between records management strategies and professional performance in terms of age, gender, job tenure, and position in the departments. The next article, which is record management practice in public institutional archive, to identify the types of record perceived in public institutional archive assignment, the filing system used in public institutional archive. The objective of efficient of electronic records management system, to get at the example of the Ministry of Development, is a study preliminary analysis of the quantifiable benefits of an ERM application in the context of public institution has been conducted for this purpose, while the article of improving records management to promote transparency and prevent corruption is preventing or minimize the risk that frequently accompany them. As I will continue with recommendations. Consideration should be given to several categories of recommendations. To sustain its activities, the system needs a strong structural framework. These include having a platform for collecting records that can track the movement of records, both physically and electronically. The paper-based registration method was replaced with this technology. It offered an electronic receipt for the registration of the application. The data gathered by RTS was transferred to the new system even though the papers were not included in it. As a result, there were fewer approvals and transfers throughout internal processes. Other than that, consideration should be given to some recommendations. In addition to technology organization, which is SME, must spend on risk assessment, policy development, training, management practice, and other activities. Then, records keeping system should adhere to national and international standards. Best practice for electronic record keeping and legal and administrative obligation. Small company units must make sure that the data are retained since decision making relies on them being accurate and thorough. This may be done by enrolling in a brief course on record keeping and employing individuals who are aware and skilled in accounting record keeping. The last lead is conclusion. The primary focus of record administrator for many years remained the massive amount of paper files produced by governmental and commercial organizations for which records management practice was initially developed. The growing number of born digital records, many of which will never be printed, has forced a revolution and reinterpretation of earlier approach. Record management strategies were shown to have a low connection with a company's size and sector, but to be positively associated with its former organizational structure. However, most companies avoided information overload and did not express complaint about a lack of information. The practice of monitoring an organization record from the time they are generated until they are no longer required is known as a record management. A record might be a tangible item or digital information. Government authorities will eventually gain from the management and accessibility of corporate records as they identify which businesses pay and accrue taxes, identify the reason behind company failures, and guide policy and initiatives towards economic success. That's all from us, and thank you.